It's bright. Hello YouTube. It's been like 5 years. Sorry. Yeah, it's been quite some time since I've made content, so this is gonna be a little rough, so please bear with me. I'm gonna have to get reused to talking to a camera. In this revitalization of my YouTube channel, I would really like to focus a lot on my crafting side of things. So while this channel was previously a lot about like college and UConn, I want this to be more of a like passion project sort of thing. So whatever I'm currently passionate about, so you know, knitting, thrift flipping, crocheting, sewing, all that kind of stuff. So I kind of want to like focus on that and show you guys what I've been working on and kind of like build this little community. So I have been active on other socials. So if you follow me on Instagram, that's Alyssa's Cozy Corner. That's where I post all of my like fun projects and sort of like passion content. I'm also pretty active on TikTok, which is Sjøbris, and since we're gonna be talking about knitting today, I am really up to date with my Ravelry. My Ravelry is AliMarie123. So at some point I'm probably gonna standardize those and just make them all Cozy Corner or something. But I think this is a good start. So if you ever wanted to like get an idea of what I'm up to, at least in terms of knitting, Ravelry is probably the first place to go, as I'm usually posting like my Whip Wednesdays and my finished objects on Instagram and TikTok. Either way, as a venture back into YouTube, I thought it'd be kind of fun to go through all of the sweaters and everything I've knit in my first 6 months of knitting. So I've actually really wanted to learn how to knit for a long time. I learned when I was really young, my grandma taught me, but it was more like garter stitch. I think I made like a couple washcloths, but never really picked it up. As most of you guys probably know, I started crocheting a lot back during COVID, and that was probably my main craft for a few years. The past 2 years, I got a little more into sewing. In November is when I really picked up knitting a lot because I always wanted to make sweaters. That was my big thing with crochet, is I really don't like crochet wearables, and I know that's a big blanket statement. I do like crochet bralettes and like little lacy things, but in terms of like sweaters and stuff, I very rarely ever see a crochet like sweater or larger garment that I actually think looks good, or at least wouldn't look better knit. Sometimes I even see TikToks of people saying like, these are crochet garments that I don't think would look better knit, and I look at them and I'm like, no, that would 100% look better knit. So all that being said, I'm gonna walk you through the sweaters that I've made in my first 6 months. So since November, it's now the end of May. Actually, so I guess it's 7 months, but all of these I did finish within that 6 month period. Yeah, okay, just counting the months to make sure I'm not crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna get settled in and get cozy before I start yapping. So first of all, I thought it'd be fun to start off these videos with a BPM. Those of you who know me in real life know that I work in cardiac rhythm management, so BPM just seemed fitting. But my version of BPM is beverage, project, and media. So my beverage today is this s'mores tea from Republic of Tea that my friend Christina got me. It's really good. I like their dessert teas a lot. So I've been sipping on this really often while working on my projects. My current project is the Patrick Blouse by Vera Grazia, and I'm actually almost done with this. It looks like a hot mess right now, and that's kind of because it is, because I'm knitting both sleeves at once. So it's a little crazy and a little bit complicated to work on, but I'm really hoping to finish this like either tonight or tomorrow. That seems really ambitious actually. Maybe by the time my next Whip Wednesday comes out, which will be in like 4 days, I'll have this one done. Yeah, I don't know why I said today or tomorrow. It's definitely not happening. And the media that I've been watching / listening to is I've been watching a lot of Outlander. So I know that the final season just came out, and I watched the first season like a long time ago, but I've really been wanting to like watch it all the way through. So I'm on season 2 right now. I've been watching a lot of that. And I've also been listening to the A Court of Thorns and Roses audiobook. So I read the whole Sarah J. Maas universe over the past couple years. But ACOTAR was the first one I read, and I think I read that back in 2021-ish. And since there's the new 2 books coming out this fall, I figured I might as well just reread all the books. But because I've been knitting so much and working on so many projects, and the audiobooks are free, I figured might as well do the audiobook. So that is my BPM. With all of that yapping aside, let's get started. My first sweater that I ever made is the step-by-step sweater by Florence Miller. It's a free pattern. It's probably still the #1 pattern on Ravelry. It's been for a while. I mean, everyone who has ever knit anything and has some sort of social media in their life knows about this sweater. Very cute. I love her. Also, I didn't say this, but I'm wearing my sailor slippers, which I'm not going to talk about in this video because I hate them. But that is a story for another day. Sorry, wait, I don't mean to say I hate them. I just will never be making them again. Anyways, honestly, for a first sweater, I'm really happy with it. I wear it a lot. So I said I was gonna kind of like rank these in terms of 3 different categories. The yarn I chose for this was the Karen Macchiato Cakes in the color Lovely. Since making this, I probably won't ever make a sweater with acrylic yarn again, but because this was my first sweater, I didn't know if I was going to finish it, and I didn't want to invest a ton of money into buying yarn for a project that I wasn't sure if I was going to finish. I didn't even know if I was really going to like knitting sweaters. Turns out I really like knitting sweaters, but that is besides the point. So I love the colors of this yarn. You can kind of see like how vibrant the colors are. But the thing is, they're vibrant, but not like that vibrant. I think it's the perfect mix of like kind of muted, but kind of colorful at the same time. I love that this is a kind of self-striping yarn, but it's not really stripes. It's like these very soft gradient stripes. And one of the things that I think is so not cute with self-striping yarn is, and this is no shade at all to Violent Cat Lady, but a lot of the glow raglans that I see, it's her pattern, are made with like the Lane Cloud. And the self-striping, the stripes are really, really thin here on the body and really wide on the sleeves. And I don't think that looks good at all, personally. And I like how you really don't get that at all with this yarn. I mean, maybe a little. And now that I'm like looking in the viewfinder, I think it seems a little bit more like that than it is in person. So color-wise, love this sweater. Texture-wise, I don't love it. It's soft. It's fine. It feels fine. It's not itchy. It does pill, and it started pilling even as I was knitting it. It's an acrylic yarn, so you kind of get what you pay for in terms of acrylic yarn. So no hate to the people who love their acrylic yarn. It's not for me. I'm really trying to focus on natural fibers. The yarn, I'm gonna give maybe a 6 out of 10. I'm gonna be a little harsh on my judgments, but I think that's fair because I love the colors, but the rest of it, not so much. Second, wearability. I wear this all the time. Do I wish I did the German short rows? Yes. I'm not gonna count that against the wearability. I wear this a lot. Some things I wish I would change. When I bound off the body, I did just like a standard, I don't even know what it's called, like that one bind off that everybody learns for their first project. It's not stretchy at all. Don't really like it for this. Oh wait, all of the stuff I'm talking about right now is pattern stuff. So I guess I'll talk about the pattern stuff right now. The pattern is really versatile. So like I said, wish I did the German short rows, didn't do them. Does it make a difference? Yes. Is it the biggest difference? No, and she does tell you how to do the German short rows if you want to. The pattern is super customizable. On one cuff, I did a non-twisted rib, and on the other cuff, I did a twisted rib because I said it's my first project and I don't care and I want to see what both look like and try them out. Although it is like super popular, I think that it is very adequately hyped because I think that it gets an exorbitant amount of hype and rating, and I think it deserves that because it is an excellent pattern. The video is super easy to follow. You get a free written pattern with it. I mean, you really can't go wrong. Like, it is incredible. So for the pattern, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I'm just gonna say I'll give this sweater a 16 out of 20 because I really like it. I do wear it a lot. I'll probably keep it forever just because it's my first sweater. I don't think it's gonna withstand the test of time super well. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say for the step-by-step sweater. Cool. I also fully brought my Patrick blouse as if I was gonna knit and talk at the same time, and that's just not happening, but maybe I'll get to it at some other point during this video. My second ever sweater. This is the Sjøbris sweater. It's by Thea and Klin Cocos. They are both, I think they're both Norwegian to my knowledge. Little fun fact, I'm actually learning Norwegian right now because I think it'll make me a better knitter and open up a lot more possibilities for my knitting. I'm actually in a Norwegian only language-wise Facebook group, and I have found some of the most insane sweaters on there, and I'm like low-key gatekeeping it because I don't want it to be something where like I blast out to the internet and then they like kick me out for being a mole. But they've actually been really, really nice. I've posted some of my things in there and they have been so sweet. So this is the Sjøbris sweater. It's a little bit of a chunkier knit. It's very light. It's knit with 2 strands of mohair at a time. So the yarn I used is Bella by Permin. I kind of have some gripes with the pattern / pattern designer. So as you'll see, I've made like 2 sweaters by the same designer. I think that her designs are absolutely incredible. And this is actually speaking to both Thea and Klin Cocos because it's 2 designers. I wish that designers, when they post the pictures like within the pattern and post pictures of it online, I wish they would say which size the model is wearing, because sometimes you see models with this like gorgeous oversized fit and then you make the sweater and the fit is like really different from how it fits on the model, and so it's kind of hard to tell. I do think that gauge swatching is really important to making sure that you get the accurate fit to your measurements, but sometimes I just want to like look at a picture of a girl and be like, oh, she's kind of like the same size as me and that is the size that I want to wear. Like I said, yarn is the double-stranded Bella by Permin. I love the colors on this and I think it comes out really beautiful, especially this like mint color at the top. Overall, the yarn is pretty warm since it is a mohair, despite being very, very light. In some lighting, it could kind of be see-through. I think if I was gonna make something like this or this exact pattern again, I would probably use like 1 strand of mohair and then 1 strand of a merino wool or something that's a little bit more durable. It does shed like crazy. So if you plan on using this yarn, just be aware of that, especially if you're gonna hold 2 strands together. But that like 2-stranded look does lend to it being very like floaty and light. You can kind of see that I didn't seam the shoulders up all the way because I kind of wanted like a little bit of an off the shoulder moment. But in terms of the pattern, I'm not the biggest fan of this pattern. This was one of the first knit sweaters that really caught my eye when I was looking to learn how to knit, and it looked like a really beginner-friendly sweater. And it is, but there's no sort of like shoulder short row shaping. There's no shaping for the neckline really. I mean, there's a little bit in the front just to like go up on the sides, but overall this pattern was not my favorite. I also used a pretty tight bind off for the cuffs and for the bottom because I still hadn't learned how to do a stretchy bind off, and the pattern didn't really advise otherwise. I think the pattern was written very simplistically as a way to appeal to beginners, and I think that it does, but now having like 6 months of knitting and 5 or 6 or whatever sweaters under my belt, I think that if I was going to make something like this again, I'd probably make some changes. Maybe like a 5 out of 10. I think that that's fair. Sizing's a little weird and the fit's a little weird. Like, it's not perfect and it's wearable, but it's not as wearable as I would like it to be given how much money I spent on the yarn. I'm also going to give the yarn a 5, so that gives the sweater a 10 out of 20, which is like 50%. It doesn't seem like it's that high, but like I said, I'm gonna be pretty strict with my ratings here. Over time, I'm gonna have a lot more yarns and sweaters and patterns that I like a lot more than these. These are just my first ones I've ever made. This one is going to the side. Next up is my Hildir sweater. So this is also by Thea, who's one of the co-designers of the last one, but it is also by Milotté. I have not ever confirmed how to actually say her name, and I probably should. These are the 2 designers who also created the Frey sweater, which is super viral right now. This Hildir sweater actually has the same design as the Frey sweater on the bottom, except the Frey sweater just has that like lace stitch throughout. And I think there are some other small differences with the pattern, but overall it is a really similar pattern. This is definitely my most worn sweater so far. Actually, maybe the step-by-step is, but it's probably a close tie between these 2. The nice thing about this sweater is it's beautiful and it looks very luxurious. So this is it. You can kind of see it's got like this little detail at the bottom. It has a turtleneck, like a nice chunky turtleneck. The yarn is mode for Raeanne softest alpaca. It is incredibly soft. It's a blown, fluffy yarn. It looks really luxurious, and every time I wear this sweater, I get lots of compliments on it. So that is sort of the yarn situation. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It is really pricey, but I think it's worth the price. It does pill quite a bit. Either way, it's really squishy, really comfortable. 8 out of 10. In terms of the pattern, I think it's a good pattern. I enjoyed following it. I realized from this sweater and this sweater that I don't like knitting bottom up. I'm really liking top-down construction, and I think it helps so much when you're like able to try on the sweater as you go. I don't love the pattern, and I think that maybe if I was gonna make the fray, I would probably use the color work chart from the Hildir and then maybe use just a different pattern altogether. So those are my thoughts on, I guess, the Hildir and the fray. So the pattern, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. So the yarn was an 8, this is 7, so this will be 15 out of 20. And I think that's pretty accurate because I really love this sweater. I wear it a lot. I think it's a great sweater. I would almost dare to say it's my favorite one I've made so far. I think I gave a higher score to my step by step. So I don't know, it's probably a toss-up between these two. Next sweater, I have my Moonset Polo. This is by Ozetta, and the yarn I used is Leeuw, which is the recommended yarn from this pattern. I did it in Spring Green Heather. This one was kind of fun because I was actually knitting it while I was at Disney and Universal, so while we were waiting in the exorbitantly long lines, I was just standing there knitting. Got a lot of comments on it, people saying, oh, that's so fun. I love like talking to people about knitting when I'm in public, so maybe I just love attention. I don't know. First, I will talk about the yarn. So Leeuw is a very, very rustic wool. I was finding little bits of straw and hay while I was making this, and I actually don't mind that. I kind of like that little connection to the sheep and the people who made the yarn and nature. So I think it's really cool. It's definitely the scratchiest sweater I've made so far. I don't mind it. I think that after I blocked it with some wool wash and a little bit of conditioner, it softened up quite a bit. This yarn is supposed to soften up over time, and I think that it will. It's definitely not for someone who has really sensitive skin or is really sensitive to scratchiness. That being said, the yarn really bloomed when I was blocking it. Like, it really expanded and the stitches filled in and it relaxed, and the blocking for this was amazing. I actually almost rogged this sweater halfway through because I think I was just staring at the color for too long and decided that I hated it, and I'm so glad that I didn't because I think it came out absolutely beautiful. I did a little bit of a cropped length, just a little bit, and I did a twisted rib on the bottom hem, and I did not twist the rib on the cuffs. Don't ask me why. But there are some details within this pattern that are absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna give the yarn I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. I think that I will definitely use this again. It's very affordable. I think they have a really great array of colors. I think that you know what? I'm convincing myself to give it a 7 out of 10. We'll give it a 6.5. Really great array of colors. A lot of good options for the Leeuw. It does have this beautiful little halo around it, which I don't think you always get with wool yarns. I think that this yarn is really nice. I'll definitely use it again, maybe even to make the same pullover. I think it's really cute. I love the fit of this. So we'll say the yarn's a 6.5. Pattern-wise, I think that there are a lot of really beautiful detail elements of the pattern. And some things I think were a little bit above my beginner level. Like when I was making this collar here, I don't know if it's technically an I-cord edge, but it's some sort of cord situation on the edge, and I kind of like messed up where the border of this little v-neck meets the actual stockinette portion of the body. And that was more of a B thing. I think that it's a really beautiful element of the design. And the way that it flows into the collar is really pretty. I liked learning how to do the short row shaping in the back. So that was good. Yeah, I really liked this pattern. I think it was really well written. I don't have too many negative things to say about it. It's a pattern by Ozetta, who's a really popular designer, and I think that she probably has a lot of experience writing patterns. So I'm gonna give the pattern, I don't know, something's holding it back from being like an 8 out of 10. Like, it's not my dream pattern, but I think it's really beautiful. I would definitely consider making it again. Maybe not for myself, but maybe if somebody asked me to make one. I think it's a great design. So yeah, I think I'll give it an 8 out of 10, and that would put us at 14.5 out of 20. Which I think is appropriate. And I think I wear it appropriately based on that score. I kind of have to wear something underneath it. Overall, it's really warm despite being very light because of the Leeuw. The Icelandic wool is a great choice for this pattern. Okay, we are getting down to the nitty-gritty here. So, this is my last finished object that I'm going to talk about. I have like one more thing after this. This is my Julie blouse by November Studios. I actually test knit this pattern. So when I saw this pattern on Instagram Reels, my jaw also dropped like it did with the fray. I was like, oh my God, I need to make that. So as soon as the tester call went out, I put my little application in. I was like, I have never tested anything before. I'd actually only been knitting for like a couple months, but I need to make this. And I'm so glad I did. It was an amazing learning experience. Unfortunately, I did have kind of a lot of yarn drama with this. Like, I don't even want to get into it all the way, but the yarn like wasn't coming in, and then it did come in and it was the wrong yarn, and then it wasn't the right size and the gauge. And all of that being said, the yarn drama caused me to not finish the test knit on time, which I was really disappointed by, because I literally ordered the yarn like the day I got chosen for the test knit. And I don't know, like when I sign up for something, I want to do it properly. But either way, I was very motivated to finish this project. The yarn I used was 2 yarns from Valley Yarns, which are, I believe they're specific to like Webs up in Massachusetts. It's the yarn.com store. I've been there in person before, which is actually really cool because it's only like an hour from me. So I used Valley Yarns Southampton and Valley Yarns Charlemont. So Charlemont is a silk and merino blend, and Southampton is a mohair silk blend. So I knew I wanted this to be kind of a transitional piece. And so I chose yarns that were slightly different than what the pattern called for. And I think they together made the softest fabric. I mean, it looks so beautiful. The sheen on it is so pretty from the silk. It's light and airy, but still retaining heat. The drape is really nice. It has like the perfect amount of weight for what this sweater needs to do. It's stunning. I mean, this pattern was so inspired. I probably won't make it again. Maybe I'll make it one more time. The reason I say that is because it just took me a really long time to make. It's knit on these tiny little needles. And I don't know if the wearability is like super high, just because it's got the 3/4 sleeve, but it's got the open back. So it's almost like trying to be warm, but trying to be cool at the same time. Like, it's good for maybe spring and fall, but it's really not a layering piece. Like, it wouldn't be easy to put something over or under it. Maybe a tank top, I don't know. So it's not the most versatile piece. That being said, it is absolutely stunning. I highly recommend this pattern. I think it's very well written. I'm very grateful to have test knit this. I saw one of the other test knitters, her name is Lola. She made it in this beautiful butter yellow color, and oh my God, it looks fantastic. I don't know if it would look good on my skin tone because I'm really pale, but I've just been really inspired by seeing all of the other yarn choices and colors by the test knitters. So in terms of yarn, this combo I would give a 10 out of 10. It was pretty budget friendly. It's really soft. I think it bloomed beautifully. It blocked beautifully. It worked up really nice. I don't have anything negative to say about the yarn combo. I would definitely use this combo again for other projects. So the yarn combo, I'm gonna give a 10 out of 10. The pattern, I mean, it's a very well written pattern. I don't want to give knocks for like having small needles, because that's like part of like required by the pattern. I guess I'll rate it in terms of my like enjoyability making it. So there were times working throughout this pattern that I was kind of sick of it and I just needed to put it down because certain parts were a slog. I mean, doing the body ribbing, that took a while. Doing the split took a while. I did not do a stretchy cast off here for this little split at the bottom, and I really wish that I did, and it's not really something I can go back and fix. I mean, I wish I made it stretchier because it kind of like bulks up down here and it doesn't look great. So getting the right measurements of all these aspects of the pattern can be kind of tricky. So I will knock it down on some points for that. I think if I made this again, I'd like to adapt it even more and make it even more of a drapey low back. So those are just some of my like ideas. Oh, and the last thing is the sleeves. Because it's like raw stockinette, just going right into a raw stockinette bind off, and I did use a stretchy bind off for the sleeves. It does tend to roll and curl, so if I was going to make this again, I don't love the roll and the curl of the sleeves. I tried to block it out as much as I can. I think if I made this again, I would want to do either like one row of ribbing maybe to get it to lay straight, or one of the like bar cast offs, if you know what I'm talking about. I haven't done it myself, but I know that there's a way you can do like pull a bar from the lower rows in order to make a stockinette hem that sort of like folds on itself but doesn't curl. So I might try that in the future if I do make this again, because I think this top, although it is like absolutely stunning, it definitely looks handmade, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but when I wear it in public, I I think people can definitely tell that I like knitted, which again, not really a bad thing, but I don't know, I think I might like it to be a little teeny bit more polished. That being said, when I wear my hand knits out in public and people don't ask me if I made it, I get a little like, I'm like, yeah, I did make it. Like, I don't know, I kind of want the attention. Is that bad? I don't know. I feel like people who knit will relate. And if you're at this point in the video, you are definitely a knitter or someone who loves me very much. Also, if you're at this point in the video and you haven't like liked the video and subscribed, please do so. I'd really appreciate it. It'll just help me like continue to make these videos and continue to interact with the knitting community. Leave comments and like let me know if you've made any of these patterns and want to try them out. And that concludes the finished objects. So this sweater is a self-drafted sweater, kind of. So I saw this creator, her name is Sarah Leeuw, and she goes by Polly Pocket on TikTok. Her mom is a knitter, and she also taught, like, the mom taught the daughter how to knit as well. And she always posts the most beautiful hand knit sweater. She has this really like girly, cute aesthetic. I think her stuff is gorgeous. It's not like the same aesthetic as mine, but some of the things she's made, I'm like, I need to make that instantly. And she has this trellis sweater that she made, and the second I saw it, again, jaw dropped. I thought it was so pretty. But she doesn't have a pattern. She did respond to some of my comments about it, saying that she like made it herself, that she embroidered on the flowers by hand. So I set to work, and I decided to try and make my own pattern using a pattern that already exists. So I used the Eriikka sweater by Sari Nordlund, who's a pretty popular knitwear designer. It's similar to how Sarah's sweater is. So I kind of like reworked the cable chart that Sari Nordlund had made to make it have these two cables in the middle. It's like the same amount of stitches. I kind of follow like the base pattern of the Eriikka sweater and then just added my own cabling details. So I'm not even gonna like try to rank this because it's not finished. As you can see, the bottom's all raggedy. I think it'll be really cute when it's done, but I did make the body way too small for my body. I wanted the sleeves to be huge, and they are. But I think that I ran into a lot of issues with making the sweater, and it's simply because I half used a pattern. When I first started it, I was only like 3 months into knitting experience and probably was tackling on something way too big for me. The yarn is like the Lion brand Woolies Thick and Quick. I wanted to use something cheap because I didn't know if this was really gonna work out. I struggled a lot with figuring out how to make these flowers at the bottom, so it's been a rough process with this one. I'm kind of hibernating it for now because it's getting pretty warm in Connecticut and it's way too hot to be working on a sweater like this. It's actually a pretty cool day today, which is why I'm able to even film this video. Yeah, so I'm kind of like including this in my beginner sweaters, but it's not done, and it probably won't be done for a while. But that is pretty much it. I remember when I first was making YouTube videos, the algorithm was really different and I was really trying to grow on YouTube, and having videos that were just over 10 minutes was really beneficial to the algorithm. I don't know what the algorithm is now. I haven't done the research. I don't really know what the vibe is in terms of YouTube, but I watch a lot of long form knitting content, so I'm not gonna abridge these videos by much. So if you've got all the way to this point, thank you so much. Let me know if you like this format. I'll keep doing it. But doing these like chatty little videos is pretty fun. So I hope you enjoyed my little return to YouTube, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much, and we will talk soon. Bye.